My name is Diane X. Brown, manager of Stetson Branch Library and board member of the International Festival of Arts and Ideas. Welcome to the 7th annual Juneteenth celebration of the official Juneteenth Coalition of Greater New Haven.
Greetings, I am Hanan Hameen, founder of the Articulation Academy Network. Diane and I are the co-founders of the Juneteenth Coalition of Greater New Haven.
The International Festival of Arts and Ideas sponsored our first celebration in 2013 on the Lower New Haven Green. During last year's celebration, we were recognized by the National Juneteenth Coalition as the official Juneteenth Coalition of Greater New Haven.
Over the past 7 years, the celebration has grown exponentially. Last year, some 750 participants gathered on the Upper New Haven Green to enjoy music, poetry, plays, African drumming and dancing, an elder honoring, family interactive activities, information tables, and more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our virtual 2020 Juneteenth celebration. And we look forward to seeing you live next year. We will now have a welcome message from Mayor Elliker, followed by a libation by Baba William Matthews and Mama Lynette White Matthews, senior elders of the Council of Elders for African Heritage for Dance Africa at Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Hey, New Haven. Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom, but today we see there is much work to do in the United States. The city of New Haven first recognized Juneteenth in 2013, and it is important that we continue this tradition of celebrating freedom, fighting for justice and equality in this country. I know we can't be together this year in person, but let the spirit of Juneteenth ring loudly as we commemorate those who have continued to fight for freedom, educate our neighbors on the inequality still facing many brown and black neighborhoods, and how we as a diverse community can tackle systemic racism head on and hand in hand. Let me remind us all, on June 19, 1865, slaves in Texas were freed 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Let us use this opportunity today to encourage education, self-development, and respect for all cultures and the cultural enrichment of this community, and to fight for a time where we all are equal. Let June 19th, 2020 be one we will remember, one that pushed us to act and organize against the unequal society we still live in, one that made us closer as a community, and one that created the change we all want to see in this world. Happy Juneteenth, New Haven.
Ago.
Amen.
Peace to all. We are esteemed elders of the Council of Elders of Dance Africa, and we are here to perform libation for the coalition, the Juneteenth Coalition of the New Haven Annual Juneteenth Celebration 2020. We are about to pour libation, which we offer spirits, so that we can cleanse the path. We offer cool water. Mojuba, we give praise to Almighty God, the Creator.
Ashe.
We give praise to the spiritual guides that we go to for our spiritual quest.
Ashe.
We give praise to all the priests.
Ashe.
We give praise to the past, present, and future.
Ashe.
We give praise to the mamas and the papas of the world.
Ashe.
We give praise to Egun.
Ashe.
We give praise to those that sit in heaven.
Ashe. At this time, I will read the names of our freedom fighters. Araminta Ross, self-renamed Harriet Tubman.
Ibae.
Frederick Douglass.
Ibae.
Nat Turner.
Ibae.
William Sill.
Ibae.
Samuel Burris.
Ibae.
Francis Harper.
Ibae.
Bartholomew Fussell.
Ibae.
Phoebe Myers.
Ibae.
Samuel Green.
Ibae.
James Pennington.
Ibae.
Josiah Henson.
Ibae.
Joseph Sinke.
Ibae.
Jimmy Lee Jackson.
Ibae.
Charles Eddie Moore.
Ibae.
Marcus Garvey.
Ibae.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Ibae.
Malcolm X.
Ibae.
Henry Hezekiah D.
Ibae.
Michael Schwerner.
Ibae.
Andrew Goodman,
Ibae.
James Chaney,
Ibae.
Huey P. Newton,
Ibae.
Eldridge Cleaver,
Ibae.
Rosa Parks,
Ibae.
Ida B. Wells,
Ibae.
Ella Baker,
Ibae.
Shirley Chisholm,
Ibae.
Zora Neale Hurston,
Ibae.
Joanne Gibson Robinson,
Ibae.
and Medgar Evers.
Ibae.
And now I will read the names of those who were killed at the hands of police.
Manny.
George Floyd,
Ibae.
Walter Scott,
Ibae.
Freddie Gray,
Ibae.
Sam Dubose,
Ibae.
Philandro Castile,
Ibae.
Dontre Hamilton,
Ibae.
Terrence Crutcher,
Ibae.
Eric Garner,
Ibae.
Alton Sterling,
Ibae.
Jamar Clark,
Ibae.
Jeremy McDowell,
Ibae.
William Chapman,
Ibae.
Eric Scott,
Ibae.
Tamir Rice,
Ibae.
Akai Gurley,
Ibae.
Michael Brown,
Ibae.
John Crawford,
Ibae.
Ezell Ford,
Ibae.
Dante Parker,
Ibae.
Rumaine Bisman,
Ibae.
Tanisha Anderson,
Ibae.
Jermaine Reed,
Ibae.
Tony Robinson,
Ibae.
Philip White,
Ibae.
Eric Harris,
Ibae.
Breonna Taylor,
Ibae.
Yvette Smith,
Ibae.
Miriam Carey,
Ibae.
Shelley Frey,
Ibae.
Garnisha Harris,
Ibae.
Melissa Williams,
Ibae.
Tatiana Jefferson,
Ibae.
Pamela Turner,
Ibae.
Karen Gaines,
Ibae.
Sandra Bland,
Ibae.
and all of those whose names we did not mention. Ibaye Baye Tonu.
May they become great elders as they sit at the foot of God at the river's edge. We will never forget.
Ashe.
I give thanks to the official Juneteenth Coalition of the Greater New Haven and the International Festival of Arts and Ideas.
Ashe.
I give a special thanks to Ms. Hanan Hamid, founder of the Arts Education Academy Network.
Ashe.
I give thanks to the Juneteenth Coalition and the New Haven's annual Juneteenth celebration.
Ashe.
I give thanks to Mama Diane Brown, first honored elder and senior branch manager of Stetson Branch Library and co-founder of the annual Juneteenth celebration.
Ashe.
We give thanks to her. I would like to quote something from a friend and elder, Tamik Amin-Ra. We have the focus and the attention of the world, the backing of the ancestors of light, and the forces of Orisha. Bringing spiritual order to the path of light, we must walk. It is wisdom and strength of our character displayed before them, all that will determine how deep the seed will go. That will determine how strong the trunk will continue to grow, and its sociological, economical, and psychological limbs reach. The vine of systematic racism cannot contain the growth of this tree, because the roots drink from the soul of many, and its spirit is the ashe of life. May we all one day feast in the fruits and justice, equality, and peace in this lifetime. Ashe,
Ashe.
ashe,
Ashe.
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 Ashe. We thank my fellow elders. And now we will have the Negro National Anthem, words by James Wendell Johnson, and music by his brother, John Roseman Johnson. So will we all stand for the National Negro Anthem?
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound out as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory won. Happy Juneteenth. Thank you for celebrating the 7th year of the Juneteenth Festival. We're thankful for the Arts and Ideas International for bringing this coalition together, and also the Artsication Academy. Hanan, Hameen, thank you for the opportunity to sing this. And as we face in the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. God bless you.
Wow. That was
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. My
To
sister,
Monique. Yes.
Lenore, she did a wonderful
Monique,
job.
definitely.
Yes.
So I just want to acknowledge and honor and give thanks for the elders that are present and ask for permission to continue.
You have my permission.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So welcome to the 7th annual Juneteenth celebration. We want to go into introductions. We are your hosts.
My name is Couture Bryant, and I am the CEO of Global Alchemy Group. I'm in charge of the training division and the creator of the Zola Experience, a journey of recovery from loss. And you'll hear more about that soon.
Absolutely. And my name is Hafiza Toure. I am the COO and daughter of Couture Bryant of Global Alchemy Group, where, family is important to us. We are a family business. So we understand the importance of generational wealth and community building and leaving a legacy. So please definitely reach out.
Okay, we will now go further on in our program. We will have a musical selection by Mr. Edward Beverly. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Don't walk around with a chip on your shoulder, with your head up in the clouds. Remember, the same people that you meet going up, you meet the same people going down. What goes around, comes around, and what goes up, it must come down. Places that you walk, don't burn the bridges you have to cross. I said, what goes around, comes around, and what goes up, it must come down. Watch the places that you walk, and don't burn the bridges that you have to cross. Be careful what you do and what you say. You can't compete any kind of way. The greatest commandments is that we should love. God gave us those commandments straight from above. Don't turn your back on your friend. They'll be the one that you need in the end. So remember where you come from. Remember, you must remember where you come from. What goes around comes around, and what goes up, it must come down. Watch the places that you walk, and don't burn the bridges that you have to cross. Be careful what you do and what you say. You can't compete for any kind of way. The greatest commandments that we should love. God gave us those commandments straight from above. Don't turn your back on your friend. They'll be the ones that you need in the end. Remember where you come from. Remember, you must remember where you come from.
Yes. Remember.
Amen.
Thank you, Brother Edward Beverly, for that musical selection. Now we will hear from our national rep, Steve Williams, advocating for the national observance of Juneteenth, followed by a performance by Baba Jarawa, Brian Gray.
Juneteenth, the day that we celebrate our freedom and our beginning our pursuit of liberty. New Haven, Juneteenth. Welcome to the Juneteenth family. We are pleased to have you as members of the Juneteenth Nation and family. We want to recognize your 7 years of participation in Juneteenth, and we want to especially recognize the creator of the Juneteenth flag, Mr. Ben Hayes, who's there, and his son, who's the state director, Elijah Hayes. Juneteenth is getting a lot of attention, and we really appreciate your support in getting the word out. We have a petition to have Juneteenth made a national day of observance, and that is at juneteenth.us. Please go there, have all your friends, have all your family sign the petition. We also want to let you know that the wave of the petition and the wave of Juneteenth across the nation is of one inspired by God. And we want to make sure that you are prepared to let everyone know the good news of Juneteenth, that it just doesn't belong to one part of the country, it belongs to all parts of the country. And you prove that there. So New Haven, Connecticut, thank you very much. Welcome to the Juneteenth family and a strong part of the Juneteenth Nation. We thank you in all things Juneteenth.
It's a new day. Wake up, wake up. It's a new day. Another chance to get it right. Just listen, listen. Songs of creation, they say it's a brand new day. So wake up, wake up, wake up, and say to someone, I love you more. And the birds start to sing. They say it's a brand new day. To be grateful, faithful, that things will turn out right. Because it's a brand new day. Let the songs of creation, that perfect vibration, give you energy, more energy to soar. But don't you forget that this new day, this new day is another chance to live again. It's a brand new day. Wake up. It's a brand new day. Wake up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you to both of those powerful brothers. Please go to juneteenth.us and sign that petition. So the highlight of the Juneteenth celebration is really the elder honoring.
Absolutely.
And it really, in person, it's such a beautiful experience. And the coalition honors individuals each year. And in just 1 minute, we're going to put some of the past honorees on the screen. And they do something so very, very special for them each and every year that is thoughtful. The coalition honors them with a gift, and they give them 3 things. One is a walking stick, which is one of those traditions of elders in our culture, and they're very ornate and very beautiful.
Yes, they are.
The other is that each of them receives an African print cloth. And that, again, our cloths have a meaning.
Absolutely.
And they carry that energy, such as the one that's behind us. Yes, it was
handmade.
Yes, it was.
Definitely.
Right. And then they also give them a very special gift that is specific to their profession or to their contribution to the community. For example, if you are an educator, then perhaps you would have received maybe a new briefcase or something like that, something that is going to be very useful for you and add value to the work that you are doing, which is really, really a beautiful thing. And then when they do the circle of drumming around them, it is,
just to be in that energy, it is definitely a powerful piece.
Absolutely. And we will continue to honor those individuals whose names that you saw. And we will continue to be grateful for the impact that they have given to our community in perpetuity. Really, they will always be remembered.
Definitely. And so next in our program, we will have drumming by Baba Brian Jarawa Gray, the musical director of Artcations, Keepers of the Culture Performing Arts Company, followed by a powerful performance reenactment by Dr. Karima Robinson as Ida B. Wells.
My name's Karima Robinson. I'm a playwright and performer, and educator. And I was inspired to actually write this piece based on Trayvon Martin, actually. His murder brought up a lot of really hard emotions for me. It was a very traumatic event for me. And I wondered what to do about it. I didn't know what to do, but I felt like something had to be done about it. And I felt kind of powerless and helpless to do anything about it. And then I thought back into history. I thought about Emmett Till, who was murdered by a mob. And then I thought back to Ida B. Wells, who was a very vocal agitator against lynching back in the 1890s. And I thought that she's someone who was brave enough to fight back and to publish her findings in the local newspapers of her time. So I thought that this moment in time required someone like Ida B. Wells to come forward and to express their appall at the lynching that's happening right now in this country. So that's my inspiration for telling the story. And I also wanted people just to generally know who she was. She was a wonderful, amazing, brave woman. And I felt like she deserved to be known by this generation of activists. So that's why I wrote the piece and performed it.
Oh my goodness, oh my Lord. Well, is this it? Toussaint Louverture? This must be it. Lord have mercy. Whew. Whew. Oh, pardon me. Forgive my manners. I'm Miss Wells, Miss Ida B. Wells. I'm a journalist and anti-lynching advocate for Mississippi originally. I'm running late, more than late. I was supposed to meet someone here at 12 noon. Oh, Lord, it's nearly 3 p.m. Well, it's not my fault. The train from New York was delayed. They had some sort of malfunction in Pittsburgh. Oh, they had to stop and everyone had to disembark and wait for the next one. And my journey from London to New York took 8 long weeks, rocking all the way across the Atlantic. One night in New York, and I was at the train station the next morning. Another night in Youngstown, Ohio, and here I am, a day late and $1 short, as they say. Mr. Douglas does not take kindly to people disrupting his schedule. He's absolutely meticulous about time. But like I said, it's not my fault. And I'm here, aren't I? That's what matters. Yes, that Mr. Douglas, Mr. Frederick Douglass, the famous abolitionist who fought for our freedom. Mr. Frederick Douglass, who escaped his master to become our nation's leading orator, writer, and social reformer. Mr. Frederick Douglass, who is now our elder statesman and leader of the colored people of these United States. I'm proud to say that he's a personal friend of mine. He's a celebrity to most people, but to me, he's my mentor and friend. He should be around here somewhere. So this is the fair, the famous Chicago World's Fair. America invited the whole world to join her in celebrating the 400th anniversary of her discovery. And the whole world accepted the invitation. Thousands and thousands of people of every race, creed, and color have descended upon Chicago to celebrate her discovery. Everybody showed up, including you. You came to see the show too. Had to see what all the fuss was about. Oh, I don't blame you. I'm here too. Mr. Douglas and I are here, and we aren't going anywhere. Everybody's going to hear our side of the story. They have transformed Chicago's Jackson Park into a spectacle of American achievement. They display everything from her natural resources to her achievements in the arts and sciences. But these fair officials have overlooked an important aspect of American life, her moral integrity. They have chosen to ignore that which would best illustrate her moral grandeur. The colored people of this country number 4 million. That's more than 1/10 the whole population of these United States. Our people have made significant progress in 28 years of freedom after 250 years of slavery. America should beam with pride at our accomplishments. Did you know that enslaved Africans were among the first settlers of this country? We landed in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619 on a slave ship. Our ancestors landed here before the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock.
That's right. Before the Mayflower, we were here. Our labor accounts for 1/2 of the labor in this country. We produce cotton, tobacco, indigo, rice, and produce of every kind. The wealth created by our industry affords white Americans the leisure time essential to their progress in the arts, education, industry, and invention. Our achievements should be side by side with those of white America. Crispus Attucks was the first man to die in the American Revolution. Benjamin Banneker surveyed the city of Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Our achievements should be side by side with theirs, but Fed officials denied our request. The Negro women, including myself, we applied to be part of the women's building. Miss Jarena Lee was the first woman preacher of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. She should be honored, but our requests were denied. Finally, we asked to have a building of our own, a separate building to show what we've accomplished in spite of the oppression that we face, but they denied our every request. If you walk through this fair, you might believe that America has no Negro peoples who've been part of this country for nearly 300 years. They have erased us from our country's history. They almost won, the fair officials. Almost. They overlooked the fact that Mr. Frederick Douglass served as America's ambassador to Haiti. Haiti selected him to oversee our exhibit. It's a beautiful building and beautiful exhibit, I have to say. If not for Haiti, American Negroes would have no official part in this World's Fair. Now, you foreign visitors will likely ask, why aren't the American Negroes more fully represented and visibly present in this World's Fair? Are we so dull and stupid as to have no interest in this event? I assure you that Mr. Douglass and I stand shoulder to shoulder on this. Now, never mind that he's 6'1" and I'm 4'11", that's beside the point. Metaphorically speaking, we are united in our determination to represent our race. Now, before I left for England, Mr. Douglass and I had decided that we would write a pamphlet to explain to foreign visitors why we've been excluded from this fair. We would publish it and circulate it right here at the fair. That'll show them. And now that I'm back, we can get started. No time like the present. Mobs of lynchers run free in this country and are never brought to justice. They freely kill American Negroes based on the flimsiest of excuses. Why is this permitted? America has entered into an unwritten moral agreement. Slavery is over. Yet, the white Southerner must have the last word. He is filled with hatred and anger, not against his northern brothers, but against the victims of slavery who have little legal or financial standing to seek justice. But what they don't understand is that the American Negro is determined to be a free and equal citizen of this country, which we built with our bare hands. There he is now. Mr. Frederick Douglass. He holds high court in the Haitian building. Here he comes to make his daily rounds. Good afternoon, Mr. Douglass. Yes, it's quite a journey I've had. Oh, you won't believe it. I was in London. It took 8 weeks to cross the Atlantic. My goodness. And then I was in New York and we took the train and we had to stop in Youngstown, Ohio, of all places. Then I took another train to come here to Chicago today. Oh, well, you look well. You look well. And you look like you have everything under control. It's a beautiful exhibit. Congratulations. I'll bet. It's quite something. Oh, Mr. Douglass, London? Your British friends treated me like a queen. I've never met white people like them before. It was a shock to my system. Oh, and they organized everything, took care of every detail. And the audiences there in London, when I spoke about what's going on in this country, they wept. It was very moving, Mr. Douglass. And we raised $300 for the publication of our book. Yes, of course, Mr. Douglass, but yes, Mr. Douglass, I understand, but Yeah, yes, I understand. But Mr. Douglas, I can raise the rest of the money here. I can do it. I'll gather the women of Chicago, just as I did in New York. Sunday afternoon meetings at different churches. The women will come together and these organizations can merge and grow on their own. If you preside, I'll give the keynote address. The women will give generously. We'll raise the money in no time. Mr. Douglas, the people of London had no idea of what we suffer here in this country. They thought our trials ended with slavery. They had no idea of voter intimidation, convict leasing, Jim Crow segregation, lynching, or the Ku Klux Klan. Our foreign visitors here need evidence in black and white to take back to their countries. They need proof of how we're being treated in this country. Oh, thank you, Mr. Douglas. Thank you. You won't have to do a thing, I promise. I understand that the Haitian exhibit is a very demanding obligation. I understand, and I'll take care of everything. If you do one chapter, I'll do the rest. All right. Thank you. You won't have to do a thing, I promise. Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Appreciate it. All right, that's all right. All right, I'll see you later. Okay. All right. Bye-bye now. The people love him, and he enjoys their admiration. We'll work together to publish a little book about how we're treated in this country. We'll expose all of America's moral bankruptcy, the lynching, the Klan. We'll give our foreign visitors what they need as evidence. This is our only opportunity to be heard at this fair, and I won't miss our only chance.
Wow.
That was pretty powerful.
It definitely was, and so timely as to what it is we're experiencing in this country right now.
Exactly. Some things change slowly,
Right.
but we have never, ever given up.
Never.
And so that's what this whole Juneteenth celebration is about, is that we do not give up.
Absolutely.
So we're about to enter into the highlight of today, and that is the Elder Honoring Ceremony.
Yes.
And I'm going to turn this over to the 7th Annual Juneteenth Coalition. So take it away, my sisters.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome. So now we start our favorite part of the event, our Elder Honoring. And to begin our honoring, we have Ms. Diane Brown.
Thank you. I want to say I am very honored to have been chosen as the first elder to be honored by this coalition. It was a very humbling experience and very much a surprise. On today, I am very excited that our coalition will be recognizing 2 elders from our community that I have respected and admired for many years. First up, we have Mr. Hank Bolden. We have a proclamation here from the city of New Haven. Mr. Bolden, I'm not going to read the proclamation in its entirety, but for those of you that would like to know more about Mr. Bolden's life, his biography is on the Arts and Ideas website. It's extraordinary. You just have to take time to read his complete bio. But here we go. Proclamation of the City of New Haven. Joining the Juneteenth Coalition of Greater New Haven to honor Hank Bolden at the 7th Annual Juneteenth Celebration, June 19th, 2020. In 1955, Mr. Bolden was taken to the Nevada desert by U.S. Armed Forces with no explanation. Decades later, the exposure to this radiation had caused Mr. Bolden to later have bladder cancer and multiple myeloma. This dark history of testing in soldiers finally came to light when President William Clinton issued a formal apology to the nation's atomic veterans. During his time in the armed forces, Mr. Bolden was not only subjected to inhuman circumstances, but he continued to fight for other soldiers of color in the face of their discriminative white superior officers. Mr. Bolden has dedicated his life to advocating for our veterans and for all people of color inflicted by racism. Let us learn from Mr. Bolden. Despite these atrocities inflicted onto him, it did not stop Mr. Bolden from returning to school at the age of 82 to complete his music degree at the Hart School of Music from the city of New Haven. Mr. Bolden, we respect and we honor you, and I will see to it that you get this certificate. Would you like to say a few words, Mr. Bolden?
Yes, I'm just honored to be in such great company. I'm blessed by God to still be alive
Yes.
to see this come into play. So I I thank your committee for doing this.
Well deserved, Mr. Bolden. Very well deserved. Our next elder is actually online listening to us. She was not able to be with us in the studio today, but our next elder to be honored is Barbara Fair. And I'm going to read a little bit of Barbara's proclamation from the city of New Haven. Barbara Fair, for your deep commitment to promoting racial justice, standing up against the institutions that are disproportionately affecting Black and Brown communities, and being a bastion of hope and role model for not just your family and loved ones, but for all of us in the Elm City. Ms. Fair, we at the City of New Haven thank you for your steadfast commitment to addressing the racism we see at the local, state, and national levels. City of New Haven. Thank you so much, Barbara. Barbara, if I'm not sure if you're still on, would you like to say? Oh, she said, "Wow." Her response was, "Wow." We love you, Barbara.
Yes. Tanil, would you like to say a few words about our elder ceremony in general? I know it's near and dear to your heart.
Yes, thank you. I'm Camille Murphy, and I'm the founder of Kids Cook Association and an original Juneteenth Coalition member. It's my pleasure to be here. The elders ceremony is very, very dear to us, as Mother Diane had mentioned, but it's not just about that. The elders are considered master teachers in our community. It's not about only respecting the age, which is very important because we have to respect the sacrifices that they made on this earth before us. But it's also a critical part in honoring what they have done for us. So we pay homage to them because of the education that they have passed down and the legacies that they have created. So this is a time for us to give credit and again honor those who have done crucial work in our community. So like I said, this first started in 2013 with Mother Diane Brown, and now we continue to do that. And we are so honored to even just be able to do that, and they're still here blessing us with their presence.
Thank you.
Ashe, Ashe. And Tanil Murphy brought up an excellent point about the age. We have to acknowledge the age, the wisdom, the time. And age makes you older, right? But your contributions to the betterment and the upliftment of our people are what make you an elder. So we make sure that we acknowledge those unsung heroes who have tirelessly worked for years and years, decade after decade, helping all of us in our communities wherever they are. But while we also acknowledge the elders, we also have to make sure that we are acknowledging and encouraging those who would be potential future elders.
Yes.
Because we don't want to wait until someone has done 40, 50, 60 years of work before we acknowledge and say something. We want to encourage them along the way and connect them with elders who can help them to continue to work on that path so they can raise everyone to an even higher level. So with that, we created the Mantle Award for the next generation that is picking up the mantle, that's keeping it going. And I was the first recipient last year. It was a total surprise. And this year we have Carrie Ellington that we are honoring. Carrie Ellington, she's a New York City native like me, and it's my sister. And she's a freedom fighter. She's a radical educator. She was honored as one of the 40 under 40 by Connecticut Magazine in 2018. She helped to create the Civilian Review Board. She was a journalism student at Quinnipiac University. She started the People Against Police Brutality, which is why she's out now fighting for police brutality as we speak. During this pandemic, she didn't stop. She was working to help cancel rent. She's out there fighting on the front lines. That's why she, you know, like I said, she's there now. So that's why we had to honor her and acknowledge that she's picking up that torch that Miss Barbara, that Mama Barbara Fair is still holding, right? But now we have to acknowledge that next voice, that next force that is coming behind to pick up and keep going. So Carrie Ellington, today we honor you, and Auntie, I call Auntie Diane, Mama Diane, is gonna say a few words from the proclamation from the mayor.
Okay, Carrie, I have a proclamation here from the city of New Haven. I'm not going to read it entirely, but basically it says Miss Carrie Ellington is a freedom fighter, grassroots community organizer, activist, and educator. A native of New York City, she came to Connecticut to study journalism at Quinnipiac University and has remained here as a staple of this community by advocating for justice, speaking against police brutality, and calling out institutions for perpetuating the inequality we see in our communities of color. Thank you so much, Carrie, for all your hard work.
If you have a few words, please share with us. If you have anything you would like to say.
Can we unmute Carrie? Carrie is muted. I think she's trying to unmute herself. We're going to give her a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
She's working on her audio.
Okay. It's all right. That's part of the live. And like I said, she's out on the front line. So she came from doing right now she's out doing an event for Juneteenth with some of the youth at East Rock. So she took a time to step away to join us for this. She didn't know why she was here. So that's another thing. Our Elder Honoree is a surprise, right? So she did not know why she was here. But I do want to say that with this surprise, that there is another person who is being honored for the Mantle Award.
Can I step in? Carrie left a message here. I don't think she can, she's trying to get her audio to work. She says, thank you so much. I love my people and my elders who have paved the way.
Thank you.
From Carrie.
And we love you too, Carrie. Yes. So the
Keep
next
up the good work, sister.
Yes. So the next surprise that we have, our next honoree for the Mantle Award, this powerful sister, who I'm proud to call my sister, along with Carrie Ellington, has 3 master's degrees, 3 degrees in education, 1 master's degree that she earned this year. She was a licensed family child care provider. She also founded Kids Cook Association in 2012. And she is part of our founding and continuing member of our Juneteenth Coalition. Yes, Camille Murphy, it is you.
And this is a real surprise.
Yes, it was so hard to get her here. You have no idea.
Okay,
So
I'm going to read portions of yours. It says, for the past 2 decades, Ms. Camille Murphy has been dedicated to the lives of our residents in the Newhallville and Dixwell communities in the Elm City. Despite growing up in Hampton, Ms. Murphy walked, lived, and breathed the streets of Newhallville and Dixwell and has dedicated her life to the education of our youth. For her deep commitment to educating our children, serving the residents of Elm City, and being a bastion of compassion, goodwill, and love. She has and continues to affect the lives of so many and has made a profound impact on the lives of our residents. Congratulations to Neil.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is not staged. This is live. This is real. Thank you. I did not know about the surprise. It was tough to get me here. But thank you so much. again, I'm honored, but just like Hanan said, it is about passing that torch. And I remember, the first time I did my work in uh, Dixon area, I was at the Q House. And I was like, wow, I loved my work as an after school program, but that's where I met, my first mentor was, rest in peace, Ted Hogan, and he took a chance with me. He gave me that opportunity, and that's how I met Diane. Um, and she talked to me, and it was something new because I was from the town of Hamden, and I was in a different city dealing with different children and families. Um, so she, taught me a lot and taught me how to deal with my new life that I chose to do, my new path that I, had just stepped into. But again, as I rally for my children, I focus on education, literacy, and nutrition. But, education is so key to, ourselves and our youth. But again, we still need more people to keep out doing the work that I'm doing. So thank you so much for just giving me this chance to be honored.
You're very welcome. We thank you for your work. And a lot of the things that I'm doing that we've been doing here is because of you. From when I met you at the library, you kept peeking out, what's that? What's that drum? And what's that? Right? And look, here we are 7 years later, and it's just amazing the growth, and I just look forward to the continued growth. And to close out our honoring at this time, normally when we're on the green, I would start drumming, singing, all of our dancers and youth would come out, and we would have our bantaba, our dancing circle. But now we have Keepers of the Culture Performing Arts Company presenting our virtual bantaba, dancing in honor of all of the elders. Congratulations, everyone. We love you.
We love
Yes,
you all.
thank you.
That was beautiful.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you.
goodness.
Yes, and what a way to finish us out. Yes, I just want to say thank you to the mayor and the city of New Haven and congratulate all those honorees. Much, appreciated, much deserved awards they received tonight.
Yes.
I love that mantle award because, for folks like myself, it lets you know that the future is good.
Yes.
Yes.
Future is all right. It's
Yes.
already all right.
Yes,
Beautiful.
Ashe.
So,
So
you guys want to just share a little bit about the rest of the Juneteenth celebration over the weekend?
yes, so tomorrow we start bright and early at 9 a.m. with our free to be open studios, where we'll have classes from 9 to 4 p.m. You can take stretch classes in Guinea, Senegal, South Africa, intro to African dance, African drumming. Tanil will have a cooking class. There's storytelling and African Zumba. Then at 5 o'clock, we're going to have our Visions of a People performances, where you'll see some of the company members as well as other artists with poetry, another historical reenactment of Bobby Seale. So join us at 5 o'clock right here as a live stream for that. And then at 8 o'clock, we are having our dance party. Yes. So that's also on Zoom. So Free to Be Open Studios and the dance party are on Zoom. One Zoom link, no password. And then Sunday, we come back from 12 to 6 with our Free to Be Open Studios with more drumming, more dancing, more African-based fitness classes, yoga. So we just look forward to a beautiful weekend.
So how do they access it? What should they log in on Zoom? What should they punch in?
When you go to the Arts and Ideas website for Juneteenth, each class you click on, you will get to the Zoom link, or you can also go to Articulation Academy Network and you can access the Zoom links there. Or send me a message and I'll respond. But that's not all we have for the weekend. Auntie Diane?
Yes. So on Sunday, Father's Day, we are going to have our Dixwell Neighborhood Festival, our first virtual festival, and that will be at 6 p.m. on Father's Day, and you can access the link for that. You will go to the Arts and Ideas website, and you will go to Neighborhood Festivals. If you scroll down, you'll see Dixwell Festival, and you click on, and the link is right there. And we will be having a concert featuring two-time Grammy-nominated producer Chris Big Dog Davis. We will have guitarist extraordinaire Ron Lawrence, and R&B artist and songwriter Rasan Langley. So that's Friday. I'm sorry, that's for Father's Day on Sunday, beginning at 6 p.m.
Oh
Yes,
man,
you definitely do
I
not wanna
missed the
miss
live
that.
music, and I'm glad
Yes.
we'll be able to experience that. So before we close out, I just want to, before Hafiza gives our parting words, just want to encourage you all to stay on this station, because at 7 o'clock is going to be a very powerful conversation. So we want you to please join Pulitzer Prize winning investigative reporter and creator of the landmark 1619 Project for the New York Times, Sister Nicole Hannah Jones will be in conversation with several other powerful individuals, Al Letson and Mercy Quay, who's in charge of the Narrative Project. Just please, there's so much stuff going on. Please join us. It will be a very powerful experience.
Yes, definitely. Plug into all of the events. And I just want to thank you all for joining us.
Yes.
And congratulations again to all the honorees that we had this evening, the surprise honorees, just the energy and the love that was shared on this platform was felt, and it was amazing. I'm glad you all could join us this evening. Please join us for Arts and Ideas event at 7 p.m. So stay tuned for that information and that programming.